This comes from The Blaze. Yeah, that conservative newspaper. I haven't read it yet, but I have some opinions. If I think I don't know. I just caught this. I thought I would just say something anyways. Bystanders taunted and laughed as the police officers were being fired upon in Philadelphia. A reporter at the scene of the attack on police officers said the bystanders were mocking and taunting the police as the bullets rained down on them. The video shows the crowd of residents showing and confronting the police even as they were dealing with a tense hostage situation. It was circulated online among many supporters of law enforcement who expressed outrage over their treatment or at their treatment. Brooke, yelling, screaming, throwing things at officers that have protected you for 4 hours during the active shooting. Classy. What the hell is wrong with you? I'll tell you what you think might be wrong with them and what the real wrong is after I read this. Even 6 police officers were being treated for their injuries. Even as 6 police officers were being treated for their injuries by a man barricaded inside of his home. The neighborhood residents, expressed hostility and antagonism against the police. Reporter Alexandria Hoff of CBS 3 Philadelphia reported as she had been harassed along with the officers. I mentioned this at 10, and since I was harassed during that live shot, I'll mention it here too. A major moment of disappointment this evening was watching a crowd of people taunt the police officers, laughing and yelling at them in the midst of gunfire. I mentioned this at 10 since I was harassed during that live shot. I'll mention it here too, Hoff tweeted. A major moment of disappointment this evening was watching a crowd of people taunt the police officers, yelling and laughing at them in the midst of gunfire, added. Man, I just read that. Sorry, guys, I should have read this before. One officer was shot in the head while another was shot in the hand. All injured officers have been released from the hospital. There were reports of There was the reports of that the suspect was broadcasting part of the attack on Facebook. 2 police officers were trapped inside of the home as he fired on the officers outside. They were saved by SWAT, along with the 2 other hostages. The attacker remains barricaded inside of his home as police negotiate with him and his lawyers. You see, here's the thing for this person that tweeted that. When you're being treated like trash by the police and pretty much targeted because of how you look by the police, what do you expect? I'm not saying that I'm for violence on anyone, but I'm also not for violence that the police have done to especially black people. I don't think that that's cool. And that's the reason that people are laughing right now, because it's like, okay, since they shoot us down in the street, now it's their turn. Granted, I'm not into violence, but at the same time, what do you expect? You think that they're just laughing for nothing? Why don't you try talking to the people on the street and see why they're laughing? Especially when they're treated like second-class citizens by these race soldiers.